So yeah, that's all that really changed in the language. If you guys want to just check it out, we changed from 5 to 8, and then took out the section with the 5. We just took it out because it didn't apply anymore now that it's switched.
Do you have a motion to approve?
I move to approve Senate Bill F-16-012.
Moved by Senator Ara. Do you have a second? Second by Senator Young. Are there any discussions? Just Senate Bill. All those in favor? All opposed? All those abstained? 12-0. This motion passes. Okay, now moving on to Senate Bill F-16-013.
Okay, so this one is concerning with Diversity Council. They're currently sort of reworking their bylaws to better fit the expanded needs of Diversity Council. It's taken on a lot more responsibility and kind of expanded its goals this year. So if you notice, they added the Veteran Service Center as one of their members of Diversity Council, because previously Veteran Services was not part of it. Also, as you can see here, it says addition of Diversity Council members shall be voted in by existing Diversity Council members under the purview of appointments made by the respective directors of the centers. So basically how it works is the personnel director will reach out to the centers, ask them for representatives to come to Diversity Council, so they'll reach out to MASC and LGBT Center and so on and so forth, and they'll ask for representatives to be sent. But this gives the Diversity Council just the ability to approve members coming into it. So there's like a good oversight either way. And I think that's the extent of it, right? And then also they just changed around the wording to be more clear that they're voting by Robert's Rule of Order, and since they have co-chairpersons, the co-chairpersons will be sharing one vote, so it doesn't cancel out the vote of ASUCR members. And I'd like to yield the rest of my time to Jonathan if he wants to clarify and kind of expand on what I said.
So about the co-chairpersons receiving one collective vote, we decided to do this because the co-chairs both represent a center, and if neither of them were allowed to vote, two centers in effect aren't participating in the discussion in the voting. And so that just seemed like a fair way to balance it out. And earlier, slightly, I think it's like number 6 or so, we're redefining quorum because previously quorum was just majority of the council, and the council existed at 14, and in previous years, only 8 people consistently showed up, and so it's kind of like a limiting factor to have quorum be defined by people that just aren't showing up, coming to meetings, even though they say they can.
All right, can I have a motion to approve?
I move to approve. Can I add that on section 6, number 5, that it says after Robert's Rule of Order that it includes newly revised and new edition of Robert's Rule of Order.
There's a motion to amend number 6 of line 5. Voting shall be done following newly advised Robert's Rules of Order. You got a second?
I second.
Seconded by Senator Ara. Are there any discussions? All those approved? All those opposed? All those abstained? Motion passes unanimously 12-0. Alright, now moving on to we get the motion to approve the Senate Bill S-16-013.
I move to approve SB 1613.
Moved by Senator Moore, can we get a second? Seconded by Senator Young. Are there any discussions? All those approved? All those opposed? All those abstained? The motion passes with 12-0 unanimously. Now moving on to SB F16-014.
Okay, so this one was, the primary author for this one was Shafi, and Senator Lee and I endorsed this one, or sponsored it. So basically, this sort of changes the language a bit for how previously, so how the system currently works is ASUCR representatives are expected to keep a 2.0 GPA at the end of each quarter. However, if they mess up one quarter due to unforeseen circumstances, they're allowed one academic waiver per year if approved by Judicial Council. But the problem in the past has been that Judicial Council doesn't interact obviously as much with senators as, for instance, President and External Vice President, and they're sometimes not aware of the struggles going on with the senator who was not able to make grades. So what this changes the language to slightly is that now the President and the Executive Vice President can make a recommendation to Judicial Council saying that you know, this person messed up, but they should be able to get an academic waiver. And it's granted once per year per person. So if you messed up, you know, 2 quarters in a row, unfortunately you can only get pardoned once, I guess, per year. The approval still has to be or we've changed it actually to be a majority vote. So how it will work is like, the President will recommend to Judicial Council or Senate. So it's whichever the person is more comfortable with. For instance, let's say maybe Judicial Council has previous problems with you, like we wouldn't want that to be the reason for them deciding whether or not to. And same with Senate. If, for instance, you're a member of Senate who's generally not like me, for instance, no, I'm just kidding. But for instance, a member of Senate who's generally not liked, that shouldn't be the reason why you're cut off. Everything should be considered, including your grades, like the circumstances and so on and so forth. So it would still be a majority vote by Judicial Council or Senate. And the candidate name will be kept confidential throughout the process in accordance with FERPA laws, and just making sure that their privacy is respected. So throughout the process, it will just be like candidate 1 grades dropped below 2.0 this quarter. Candidate 1 should be pardoned, yada yada yada. So that's essentially the entirety of this bylaw change. So if you have any questions, please feel free to direct them at me. If not, that's it.
Can I get a motion to approve?
I move to approve Senate Bill F16-014.
Moved by Senator Hara. Seconded by Senator Cortez Hernandez. Are there any discussions? All those in favor?
Do you want to speak? Oh, wait. Are you speaking for Sean? Okay. I'd like to yield. I'm so sorry. Can I yield part of my time to?
You mind making?
Yeah, I would like to retract my earlier motion, rescind my motion, and yield part of my time to Zena in the gallery.
Okay.
So if you're keeping the name as candidate 1, why, or so if it's anonymous throughout the process, then why are you making it between Judicial or Senate? Because you said it was to like get rid of bias, but the name is anonymous, right?
Right.
Am I understanding correctly?
Yeah.
And then who would decide if it goes to Judicial or if it goes to Senate?
That would be up to the discretion of the President or the Executive.
So whoever's making that recommendation,
Right.
so that should probably be added, because that's going to be a topic of discussion later. Do you see what I'm saying? Like the person who makes this recommendation will give it to either the Judicial Council or Senate, right? Should be presented?
Right. Well, I mean, they would obviously consult with the person prior as well. I mean, they wouldn't just blanket judgment make that, you know?
Okay.
This was done mostly because in previous years, Judicial Council has has oftentimes rejected the academic waiver, even though it'll be the person's first time applying for one, just because they're not really either aware of what the person is going through because judicial.
No, I know the history of the drama with the waivers. If you're keeping it anonymous, I don't see why you would do both. But
Oh, that's just to keep it constitutional, because we can't just cut judicial out of it. They're given a choice between whom they want the voting to go to. Yeah, no, I mean, they could still pick judicial, but we just didn't want to cut them out of it. Because originally they were a part of they were in the original language.
even though the name's anonymous, you don't want it to go to judicial.
No, I'm not saying I don't want to go to judicial, but it's up to the person.
Senator Young.
I think the reason why it has to be anonymous is that just like purpose of it, right?
No, I know why it's anonymous. I'm just saying if it's
No,
anonymous, then
it-
why does it need to be either or? Like, then it should stay the way it is, or you should just say that it's anonymous. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. I just think
Like, your purpose for adding the Senate into the decision is to keep it from being biased, but that's also why you're putting Part B in it.
I don't know if we were ever supposed to have the.
We are. So remember in LRC, you mentioned how to keep it unbiased was like when judicial, like they have to receive a recommendation too. Is that also why like there's a choice because if if a justice also fell below 2.0, then they can go to Senate? Is that how it works?
Yeah, so there's currently no like system in place for justices if their grades slip. So they would be basically deciding themselves over, which doesn't keep it really fair. This creates overview from both sides. So if someone from judicial, for instance, grades fell below a 2.0, they would be able to be recommended to Senate, but their name would still be kept confidential, just someone from judicial council.
Okay.
So just, yeah, I can see the concern, but it just makes it more fair in the sense that previously all of judicial council would receive the name. So there would be like 6 people knowing exactly what was wrong with the senator. Now it would be like a confidential name, or it would just be like something like just 3 X's or maybe like candidate 1, something like that. And they would be just judging them based on their previous record and like their situation. So. I hope that's answered most of your questions.
Let's.
Or Bill?
You got a second? Second by Senator Young. Are there any discussions? All those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstained? 12-0. The motion passes unanimously. Now moving on to Finance Committee. Finance report.
So, this week in finance, we kind of had a lot less than our typical weeks. We mostly had auto renewals. 2 of them got tabled just for like small stuff, and the rest got passed. I don't know if they talked about it last week, but we were discussing at the end of our meeting today about possibly changing one of our bylaws regarding the speaker limits. And then I know last week, I don't know if they talked about it in the last meeting, but we were also thinking about changing one of the restrictions, because right now you can only buy off of the approved vendors list on the ASUCR website for food and catering options. But there's also a lot of organizations that like make food like off of groceries, like vegan like products and stuff. And we were just discussing that. That's gonna happen most likely next quarter, but it was just some discussion we're having in the meeting. But aside from that, went pretty smooth.
Do I make a motion to approve Finance Committee report?
I move to approve finance committee report.
Okay, moved by Senator Cortez Hernandez. Can I get a second? Seconded by Senator Moore. Are there any discussion?
I just want to talk about the thing for the clubs. What that was is that there's a culinary on campus, like Highlander Chefs. It's a great club. You guys should check it out. And part of their operation involves spending money on groceries. And what we can't do right now is allow clubs to basically yeah, so that's what's being worked out.
Okay. All those in favor?
Wait, okay.
Oh.
Just a quick like going off of what Senator Young said, I don't know if all of y'all were here, but there was a gentleman who came in last week talking about, an issue that ASUCR basically cut off funding for clubs to be able to buy groceries. And that's how some clubs are able to give like, food insecure students, access to food. So that's something that, just to clarify, that they're working on fixing, in the future, so they would be able to purchase groceries again.
Go ahead.
So some of the stuff that we're talking about, like alternatives to solve this, is like kind of going based off of a system that's currently used in like residential life here on campus. So like being allowed to buy groceries from one specific grocery site in Riverside, because the way that it used to be, to my understanding, you could buy from like any grocery store. But that was just one of the solutions that we were thinking about, and one that we think would be the most, or silly discussion right now.
Obviously. Laura?
I just wanted to make a clarification too, that, and also, from what I understand, is part of the issue was because, there was a lot more than groceries being charged, like, you go to a grocery store and you can buy, all kinds of personal items and whatnot. And so it was taking a lot of time for our organization, fund especially to go through and figure out what was food and what wasn't, and then trying to recalculate the tax, because food isn't normally taxed, but some things, I don't know, it was just, I think it was taking a lot of time too, because students were buying a lot more than just food. And I think that that's another part of it, so hopefully they can work it out, but I just wanted to bring that up.
Senator Moore? All those in favor? Sorry. The motion on the table was to approve the Finance Committee report, moved by Senator Cortez Hernandez, second by Senator Moore. And it's, all those in favor? All those opposed? All those abstained? 12-0-0, the motion passes unanimously. Now moving on to Senator reports. The Executive Vice President asked every senator on his court sheet to give a report of their quarter, of the entire fall quarter, starting Senator Arrow.
Oh, nice. Okay. Hi, everyone. Pleasure to be here today. It's great to see everyone. So what I'm currently working on is a few projects, but the main ones, I'm meeting with the TAPS director tomorrow in order to discuss finance parking and also sort of long-term projects like expanding the point-to-point shuttle, expanding the amount of parking spaces that we're going to have in the coming months, and also possibly installing cameras within the parking lots because we've had a lot of break-ins recently. So that's one thing. I'm also going to be sending out during winter break probably like Senate intern care packages or something, I guess. Basically, I'm putting together a few different documents helping Senate interns with email etiquette, phone etiquette, how to reach out to administrators, so on and so forth, just a basic grasp. Because I think it's important for us to have sort of a solid Senate intern group, because they go on to run for positions, they go on to work in other aspects of ASUCR, so I think it's important that we give them skills that they can use later. And there's a couple other things, but that's pretty much the main stuff.
Senator Cotton?
The current project that, I'm working on along with Senator Jimenez is that we're trying to get study rooms for finals week for overflow students in the libraries. We haven't heard anything back yet as to what rooms will be available, but once we do hear back, we're planning on making like flyers to put up, around those certain buildings, letting students know that they're gonna be open during finals week, and hopefully we'll try to send out emails.
Thank you. Senator Cortez Hernandez?
Well, I on like the family housing stuff most of the quarter. I just met with Plumley last Friday, and we were talking about just how that's going and stuff, and we made like a lot of great strides in it, and I'm gonna be sitting in my first meeting for the committee tomorrow at noon. And then aside from that, he was also informing me about how he wants a ASUCR representative to potentially sit in like a task advisory committee. It was like very brief. He was gonna talk more to me about it. Yeah, no. So.
In my defense, I would like to say that I'm currently on like a 20+ email thread with the council director. She's already moved her meeting 3 times. So,
Well, you didn't say just one, it was like a couple. And it's like a new committee, not a pre-existing one.
okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Senator Javier.
Yeah, so, I'm actually governor mine for school business administration leadership council, so we're working on a student work fair, which will be presented next quarter. A lot of organizations coming out. Another one we're working on specifically a project is our actual universal testing system that actually has been hopefully in place. Jonathan Lee actually went in the meeting last Thursday and spoke with Melissa and also James Hannibal as well. We're trying to mirror kind of like the UCLA's test bank, so we're trying to see how it goes and whatnot. They actually leaked out the test bank. We're trying to get it more into like ASUCR, like more funded into ASUCR, compared to the library. And yeah, we're gonna be meeting with Melissa and James Hannibal again next quarter to talk about it. I already basically set up all the documents. I have a lot of business stuff specifically, but I've already set up most of it on Google Drive, a whole like new Google Drive account. So, but yeah, we should be able to implement that next quarter.
Thank you. Senator Nunez.
One of the biggest projects I've been working on is our gear. We've been working on the logo and trying to choose one. I'm meeting with Jamie, Nicole, Renu, and Shafi to receive more updates regarding that. And I emailed Mr. Cortino Morales in regards to our garden. I offered support, and I let him know that I'm interested in learning more about our garden and how I can serve as well.
Thank you. Senator Young.
Hey everybody, it's been a really eventful quarter. In terms of what I've been doing as a CNS sender, I've been working with other CNS senders to work on the research fair, which is going fantastic. We have a date planned, and we got to reserve a room in the hub, the big room 302, for the fair, and I believe that's on April 9th or 7th, the first Friday of spring quarter. It's going to be a big research fair where students can get connected with professors, talk about research and whatnot. Other things I've been working on, I've really made more progress on the physics and organic chemistry stuff with them placing the students, which is still happening, but then placing students based on their grades. And then one other thing I was planning on working on is, and being proactive about, is just in terms of the political climate and more protests happening on campus. I think it's a good idea that we have a good relationship with the CPD
how the first time it was for the art entry, and I was thinking for the second time it could be like a bigger, more fun event where we also invite all the organizations on campus and we could all fundraise for another cause, and then that way we could raise even more money and get all the clubs involved as well. And so if you guys are interested in helping me with that and contacting Dashawn more about that, I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Senator Lima.
So pretty much this whole quarter, I've been trying to just get a hydration station. And sent in my work order last week with the FAUs, so hopefully they could start construction by next quarter. So after that, I'm working on getting solar tables. We're trying to get 5 onto campus. The placements have yet to be decided, but we're thinking rest halls and BCOE and potentially botanical gardens. We'll see. Besides that, so in the beginning of the year, GCAP had an idea of doing an idea-thon, or like idea thing, where students, like a hackathon, students come together and try to build a project, and then the best project gets chosen by GCAP and will actually implement it. But since no one, or like the committee doesn't have any experience, we're thinking of sponsoring already existing events on campus from BCOE students. They're the same group of people that did Citrus Hack, Kiwi Hack, if you know what that is. So excited about that. I'm in talks with the head of that. Besides that, nothing much.
Thank you. Senator Moore.
Okay, so right now I'm working with HPAC to expand it in such a way where like we can have a larger mentorship program within CNAPS to reduce the retention rate. And then when I had a meeting with the HPAC director, Charles Scruggs, he mentioned to me that UCR is the only UC that doesn't have the anatomy and physiology series, which is a prerequisite to we're the only UC without that series, which is a prerequisite to nursing schools. So a lot of our students aren't able to like get into the nursing schools that they want. So obviously that's something that we need to fix. So I'm advocating for that and working on trying to get that on campus. So I'll be sending out a survey like maybe tomorrow or within the next week to see how many students are interested in taking that series, which I hope a lot are because nursing is a large vocation. And also I just got my interns. One is named Andrea and the other one is Samantha. Right now I'm like they're really nice and I'm making them work, well not making them, but like I have them working on a lot of like little projects and have them creating ideas for new resolutions on like things that bother them on campus or like issues that they find need work on. So there's that, and then other than that, I'm also working alongside the other CNAS senators with the Research Expo, and like you said, there's a date for that, and I'm really excited. Also, with the last resolution that I sponsored with Julia Schemmer, she has emailed the city in regards to like the homelessness ordinance, and they finally like have responded. So we're still advocating for that to get taken down, considering it is extremely inhumane. And I'm also researching for the most abundant